Good afternoon. This is the Talkin Sh podcast. I am Dr. Evil Genius.
And I am Captain Paul. How you doing there, Evil?
I'm doing pretty damn good, man. When you were on the boat, I had to really put, some effort into making sure that we got some kind of content on schedule, because it's a demonstration of our dedication to this platform.
Mm.
You know, so I talked about in episode 6. No, I think that was episode 5. Episode 5, which I just renamed. I renamed it. Before it was like something like much needed Monday motivation. I'm a big fan of alliteration. But I changed it to the actual theme of what that show turned out is that are you willing to do the work? And I think that I thought that it was a really much needed intro into some of the things that we're going to try to bring to the people as far as how do I say how do I say this? To help people become the best versions of themselves, right?
Mm.
And just to kind of like take a little bit of a divergence. See, today we are on not only on the TSP platform, but I added the Dr. Evil Genius platform as well, because I know that many of you are unaware that we are now on episode 10 of the Talkin Sh podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want you guys to take this opportunity, take this time, if you haven't already, and definitely give us a sub over on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Please do so. It would definitely help us grow our community, because as I'm talking about, there are going to be certain themes that we are bringing to the people that I believe are going to help turn around some of the toxicity that we are experiencing in society. And after you go on over to the Talkin Sh podcast platform on YouTube, please, if you partake of social media, if you're on Narcigram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitch, because we're also live on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
definitely give us follows over here. Again, we are really looking forward to building this community to help men become the best versions of themselves, to give a home to women who still love and respect men, productive, successful, useful men, not just, your typical, neckbeard, in the basement doing nothing with his life.
Yeah.
But we're talking to the neckbeard who's doing nothing with his life in the basement to give him the motivation to do something other than sit in the fucking basement.
Mm-hmm.
There are reasons why we should strive to become successful, whatever success means to us.
Mm-hmm.
And here on the Talkin Sh podcast, we are going to be talking about a variety of different topics. But the main goal of this platform, the main goal of this community that we are building, is to help you become the best versions of yourselves, and to let you know that there is incentive to doing the work that is necessary to become the best versions of yourself. Okay? So, back before, just trying to welcome some of the mainstays in the Dr. Evil Genius community. Back episode 5 of the Talkin Sh podcast, I talked about the concept of work and how the dedication to the actual work and not the outcome from the work is what will give you the basis, the foundation, a firm foundation for being a successful person, man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then in episode 7, while Captain Paul was on his boat,
Yep.
we talked about the differences between being goal-oriented and process-oriented. So for all you first-timers, this is your first time watching the Talkin Sh podcast, again, make sure that you head on over. Thank you to the first lady of my house. She actually, I think today is her first day at her new job. And what was she doing the first day of her new job? Creating a bitly for our stupendously long, fucked up YouTube URL because our channel is still irrelevant. So we don't have the cachet to get a more memorable URL. So the lady took it upon herself to create a link for you guys to more easily find us on our YouTube. So for those who have not done so already, definitely subscribe to the Talkin Sh podcast, bit.ly/talkin_SHT. Okay, thank you. All right. So again, we talked about the differences between being process-oriented and goal-oriented, in which will help you reach your goals more efficiently. We got our guy working. Shout out to Clinks. Okay. So, normally we like to keep to the schedule. The schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until we... Oh, yeah, please. Seditionalist is absolutely correct. I tried doing this with all lowercase, and they told me to go fuck myself.
Oh, well, that's always good.
Yeah. Like, literally. Like, there's an error message that comes up that says, please insert your penis into your own ass. Okay? So, make sure that when you access this, that capital T and the capital S, it is absolutely necessary. All right. So normally if you've looked, no matter what, we have TSP on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we have the Filthy Casual MMA watch party on Saturdays when there's a UFC event live. That's what we do. Okay. Now, you didn't get a Filthy Casual from us on Saturday because there was no UFC event. Okay. But you also did not get the Talkin Sh podcast on Monday like we normally would. So instead of just skipping it, we've just moved it to today. We moved it to Tuesday. So, Captain Paul, how was your Monday? How was your Monday?
My Monday was good. I'm not a person that generally celebrates Memorial Day, right? Like, I think there's a different meaning to that. So for me, my family, it's never really made that big of a deal, like having cookouts and all that stuff. But I'm engaged and went to the girl's family's place, her grandmother's and stuff like that. And it's something I thought would probably be a few hours. Was not a few hours. I did not leave there, northern Massachusetts. I didn't leave there till I don't know, around 10:30 or something like that. I forget the exact time period. I didn't get home till pretty late. Like I think past midnight is when I actually got home. But yeah, so it kind of threw a wrench into plans because what I thought is like, okay, we're going there for around 1400. We'll be there. We'll probably leave around 6, 7, right? I'm thinking reasonable because I talked to Evil and I was like, yeah, like around 9 should be good. Like no, not at all. Like fucking 6, 7 hour card game, playing different cards and stuff like that. It was
torture.
Nice. Yes,
that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was. It was nice enough, But bro, like I'm not gonna lie, I was like, all right, man. Like I'm a type of person. I want to go home. I want to fucking enjoy it. I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be that dick to leave first. And then, it was like I said, it was a good day. It threw a wrench into everything we had planned. And I think from this point on forward, because I know Evil, you don't give a fuck about holidays, unless it's kind of. If there's any type of plans on holidays, we just gotta have to either bump the podcast up or bump it back a day, just so we don't run into that issue. Because I do feel bad. We had a show scheduled, we had a plan. I do want to stick to our scheduling. I don't want this to become a recurring issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any holidays and there's any plans on those days, we'll kind of have to. I'll have to adjust a little bit more accordingly, because I did not think I would be fucking stuck playing 45s for fucking 3 hours. So, like I said, great people, very awesome family. But yeah.
Because I was gonna ask you, how close were you to letting Papa Thunder loose,
bro? Dude, like I literally kept like.
You're giving the universal sign of, it's not like I want to go home, but I do want to get the fuck out of here.
It's not even like it's a bad experience, right? It's just like, fuck. Like I'd rather be home right now. Like I'm not really a big card person either. I'm not big into heavy to cards like that. Like in high school, we gambled a bit. We put Texas Hold'em and shit. But it's just not my bag. So I'm not really super into card games. So like for me, it was just like, we played like rummy, we played poker, we played 45s. It was just, like I said, very, very fucking long day. It was a good day, but a very long day. So
right.
I want to say,
especially
to the viewers,
when you're trying to get shit done.
Yeah.
You're like, this is all fine and good, but we're trying to put out content to the people, and you're fucking. We get the respect we get the F of the chat from traditionalists. Yo, you guys don't understand, yo. Like when I actually access our show, we are definitely going to be modding traditionalists. Like let me tell you about traditionalists, son. Like anywhere I go where I'm putting out content, if traditionalist knows about it, he's there. From like fucking, what is he, Germany or Belgium or some shit? Like and he's like, yo, shout out. You always get mod privileges wherever the fuck I go, where I could give out the privileges. So shout outs to us traditionalists. But yeah, so it's kind of funny. Like I was kind of taking him to task for not, getting on the schedule, actually showing up for the show.
Yeah, give me some shit. Like text me like, yo, where are you?
But what I was actually doing while I was jabbing him a little bit, I wasn't actually too upset because Jacob deGrom was on the mound at the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he was threatening history, where he retired the first 12 batters he faced.
Damn.
And so just kind of like, I was texting with a couple of my Mets fans friends, and we were kind of like, I was kind of like, hey, you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about it? Because some people are superstitious. I'm not one of those people. And he gave up a hit in the 5th. And I was just kind of like, "Aw." But, when we weren't on the show, I just decided, well, I'm just going to lift more weights. Fuck it. I'm just going to keep lifting.
Fuck, man.
So that's basically what I did most of my evening. I watched Mets baseball. Shout out to Louis Rossman. I'm going to give a special shout out to Louis Rossman. I didn't intend to do this, but Louis Rossman did basically a live stream of his drive from New York City down towards Florida. And I left my stream open for pretty much the entire thing. I think that it was like a better than an 8-hour stream. About halfway through, he made it like into Maryland to do like to charge up his car. They had like a 240 watt charger in like the parking lot of some mall somewhere. And he's just talking about random shit with the chat while he's driving, I wouldn't say cross country because he's just driving south, but you know what the fuck I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
It's still a fucking haul, dude.
yeah, it was a fucking haul, and he was just doing it, and I was just like, wow, this is actually pretty. It kind of gave me a little bit of it gave me a little bit of inspiration because one of the things I want to do with our TSP platform, I bought this thing that you sit on your dashboard and you put the phone in it. And I was thinking, I was just like, yo, it'd be cool to put some fun content for the people. And you guys in the chat, you could definitely let us know if this is oh yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up, Seditionalist. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Because I'm neither from Germany. Well, I know you're from that part of the world, somewhere over there. Okay. I'm an ignorant American playing my role as an ignorant American. Okay. All right. So, um, so, yeah, you know what Lewis is about. So what I was thinking about doing is starting to do, some random live streams from the car so you guys can see how I rage when I drive through the New York City streets. I mean, you can get it from Lewis's perspective, but I think that it would be actually kind of funny for TSP for me to do random live streams of me just, whenever I'm driving to work or driving, because I'm not going to front. Like I drove to a former partner of mine, and like I was definitely trying to
Try to smash.
trying to smash. I'm not gonna front, son. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna front.
Trying to go in those sweet, sweet sugar walls, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm not gonna front them. Yeah, I don't want to get too specific, but I had a lot to be hopeful for. Although the situation didn't pan out because of certain environmental factors, but yeah, like I drove from where I live to where she lives, and I think that you guys would find some value. You know what's really funny too? I have to drive by Lewis Rossman's store to get to where I needed to get to where she is. Every single time I go to visit Lewis's store these days, he's never there. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm coming over to visit, show my face. He had a skeleton crew of like 2 employees there when I showed up on Saturday afternoon. But they were there doing their job and taking care of the store. So, it's really nice to see that Lewis has built his staff to be able to run on its own so that he can drive to Florida and know that the store is not going to implode. So congratulations, IWH. 2 months ago today, me and the main lady who you guys always see on the Filthy Casual MMA watch party, 2 months ago today, we made 15 years. So it's 15 years and 2 months today. Yeah, so that's fun. So yeah. So anyway, when you didn't show up for last night, so I was like, I'm not gonna force it. We should do our actual podcast stuff. We should, just do our stuff the way that we want to do it together. And then, if we want to do like ancillary things, thank you, Jimmy Dean. Much appreciated. And then, we can do like weird stuff on our own. Like, you put up that one video to thank Lewis for trying to assist us. Because really, people, one of the main reasons why we need you to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff is because we need to make it to the magical number 1,000. We need to make it to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think we need to make it 500 followers on Twitch, but we need
No, it's 50 followers on Twitch. So like we're actually to get like super chats and everything like that and become affiliated, we need to have 3 consecutive viewers on every Twitch stream on TSP, and we also need to have 50 followers. So the threshold there is very low. We're at 23 followers. We're actually pretty close. So if you are not following us there on Twitch, we would greatly appreciate it if you did so. If you don't have an account, make an account. It would help us out a lot to be able to expand ourselves on Twitch, YouTube. Just like Evil said, we're a little bit away from 1,000, but anything you can do to help would be amazing, because we're going to be doing this podcast for a long ass time, and we want to be able to bring you the best possible content that we can. And the more we can get in those sweet, sweet YouTube sugar walls, it'll be fucking all set, man. So
and so that we can bust hot content up YouTube sugar walls. And then of course, with you guys supporting the platform, our refractory period will be reduced so that we can bust again and again and again. Okay. So but yeah, shout out to Louis Rossman, and everybody that supports him. Shout out to all of y'all. But yeah, when you didn't show up for last night's show, I was like, I'm gonna hit the weights. I'm gonna watch Louis Rossman drive down south. Of course, because he's white, he didn't get pulled over, so that's good. I'm not sure I should try to make that same drive. This is Seditionalist Alter Ego. Hello, Kitty. What up? Seditionalist, always supporting. We appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, so that's really what we need. We need the people that are on the Twitch side to go to YouTube, for the people who are on the YouTube side to go to Twitch, and then we just kind of build this up, because again, we're trying to get this content out there. As long as we have a low sub count, the entertainment and I guess you can call it infotainment, the information and the entertainment that we have to give will not reach the people that need it the most if we don't grow this platform. Okay? So it would be good if, again, we're trying to build a community here, and, a lot of you are on the ground floor, so we would really appreciate your assistance in helping us grow. Okay. So, so I decided I was going to lift weights. Watch Lewis drive south. It's funny because Lewis he's only had his driver's license for about 2 months, so for him to make a long drive like that, you've got to have some fucking stones.
Wait, he's only had it for 2 months?
Yeah.
How old? Wow, that's kind of shocking. Like usually, I got mine at 17. Damn.
Yep.
So. Yeah, that is a pretty long ride for a guy that really doesn't drive much. Wait a minute.
But he's been driving a lot since he's got his driver's license.
Yeah, but he got an electric car, his first car?
Yeah, he's got a Tesla Model 3.
Yeah, that's
with none of the fixings.
Yo, that's way better than my Mercury fucking Sable that was So he beats me with his first car. Fuck, man.
Are you a 69-year-old white retiree of Mercury Sable?
Bruh, I was 1,400 and I could fix it up myself. Of course I'm gonna take it in high school like that, bruh. Fuck you mean?
Holy crap. Yeah, one of the things you gotta understand about us, because I didn't get my driver's license until I was 32. This is true, okay? Alright?
That's just wild to me, because I love driving, man. It's like a fucking set of freedom, getting out on the road, just being able to hit the fucking highway. Well, actually, you know what? New York, driving New York.
Yo, what is it with all you niggas with Sables? What is with y'all?
Yo, fuck
what is wrong with you?
Fuck you, Evil, bro. That thing's a tank, bro.
Yo,
the only reason that thing died is because the fucking rod went right through the engine. Fucking the engine just blew the fuck
That
up.
sounds like some Final Destination shit. I'm not gonna front, but let me tell y'all a little story, because I was just talking to one of my clients that I have today that I had back then when I was on the quest to get my first car. I started asking people, what car should I get? And the people said, one of my clients had the nerve, and again, I was 32 years old at the time. Okay. You should get a Buick. I'm like, The dude is from Croatia. Okay.
Mm.
But I still said, nigga. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Do I look like an old white man? Is that what I look?
Actually,
I know
no.
I sound like a white man.
That's incorrect, dude. Did you know actually, statistically, more old Asian men drive Buicks than any other? No, I'm serious. It's a true fucking story, bro. That's an actual.
Oh, because of Tiger Woods?
Yo,
because of Tiger Woods?
Yo, it's for whatever reason, dude. It's like apparently statistically more Asians own Buicks than white people. It's actually kind of fucking funny. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yo, check this out, yo. Check this out. Yo, Jimmy D, what's wrong with you, yo? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro.
What's wrong with you? So check this out, right? So so I'm just like, yo, do I look like an old white man? Like, what are you talking about? I'm 32 years old, right? You know what I'm saying? I need to show off big dick energy. I'm not gonna do that in a fucking Buick. Okay.
Yeah, what about Prius, dog? There you go. Fuel efficient. Be perfect for you.
You see, folks, Paul wants to host this episode by himself. That's really what this is about. Okay. He wants me to get the fuck up and log the fuck off. That's what he wants. Okay. All right. So I ended up. So it was really funny to see like people talking about Buicks. I'm like, yo, I'm a grown ass man. I'm just not that grown, and I'm certain. Like I said, I sound white, but I'm not really that white. Okay, so no Buicks. Okay, I went with the BMW X5. Okay, late model. Oh, that's what I did. So. Oh wow! Check this out. A 2021 Suzuki Swift. Seditionalist, tell us why. Tell us why you ordered this vehicle. Arm McFadful. Civic Si. What year do you have it? What year do you have it? Because I just ordered a vehicle too. Seditionalist. Too bad I'm not going to see it until fucking October.
Yeah, because the chip shortage.
Oh, right? European roads. Yeah, you're gonna need a somewhat of a smaller vehicle. Yeah, I could see why you would do something like that.
Well, so quick question, because you lease your cars, right? You don't own.
Yeah, I lease. I don't buy.
Yeah.
Especially since I do German cars. Pretty much exclusively, I do German.
See, I drive too much to lease. Like I due to like driving back and forth to New York like every 2 weeks and just.
Oh, McFadful has a Ford Mustang. I guess he was giving me the Civic Si as an option. Yeah, I only do German luxury. Currently, I'm in a 2018 Mercedes GLE 350.
Mm-hmm.
And I am really, really excited about getting out of my car because I really hate the infotainment system, the Mercedes Command. I really, really hate it. So I got an order in about when did I get this order in? I think they finally placed an order for me about a month ago. A 2021, or depending on when
it comes out.
Depending on when they actually put the order all the way through, it's going to be a 2021 or 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 with the airmatic suspension. So
the one thing I'll say, because
I got most of the options.
So like I have I've had a Mercedes and a Mercedes ML 320, the SUV.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I've had with Mercedes, this is on the owning side of things, is the repairs on them can be so goddamn expensive because the parts you have to import, and then just the finicky nature of it where certain mechanics aren't comfortable working on them.
I only go back to the dealer anyway.
So. Yeah, but you lease it. So like for me, I believe in like fucking just owning the thing, because like leasing for me, at least for my lifestyle, just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'll probably, like, unless we get that $25 million Spotify deal or some shit. I'm probably never gonna get.
Oh yeah, then I'd buy a hypercar at that
Yeah,
point
like
because then I would control the asset at that point.
yeah, like I'm not gonna bother buying a high end car because I think cars are one of the worst investments you can make because it's just like
But
doesn't
it's
retain
an
its value.
investment in the blood properly flowing into my penis. Okay.
Fair enough.
Uh McFadful says just get a car like Lewis. He's streaming from it now. Is Lewis back on the road already? Because he was driving like 8 hours, 9 hours straight yesterday. So yeah, I watched all of yesterday's stream. I was trying to help moderate the chat because he gets some weird ass people in the chat talking about who killed JFK and just spamming that shit. He had people spamming, talking about, come to India, you know.
Really?
Yeah, but people were spamming all kind of weird shit. Yeah, it's not an investment; it's a depreciating asset. But the thing is, one of the things that you cannot put a dollar amount on is your life experiences. Oh, he started 30 minutes ago. Okay. Yeah, we started 30 minutes ago. So I got to compete with Louis Rossman for viewers. Who do you think is going to win?
Thank him.
Not me. So, so yeah, one of the things that I like to talk to people about, because, when I talk about being goal oriented versus being process oriented, I want to talk about, yeah, I did have that problem, traditionalists trying to mod, because the thing is, there's so many messages that go, it's just so fast that I'm trying to catch the guy that's putting up the bullshit. But then as soon as I go to click on his comment, it already scrolled up. And so I'm just kind of chasing him. It's annoying. But anyway, so, I talk to people about being goal oriented versus being process oriented. And one of the things that I have to tell you is that it's important for you. As people to not get too caught up in the goal. I know that the goal is to make smart financial decisions so that you have a proper nest egg. If I could speak English, you can have a proper nest egg to retire on and to live until the end of your days. I understand the concept of making smart financial decisions. We're going to be talking a lot about financial literacy here on the Talkin Sh podcast. However, one of the things that I end up seeing that happens on a regular basis is that people slave, they live a miserly lifestyle, and then they die before they ever reach whatever supposed goal. One of the things you have to understand is that enjoyment of life is part of life and should be integral to every stage of your life, not just the hardworking young days. It is really important for your psychological health.
No, I definitely agree, but you could actually kind of flip it on that side by making smart investments and maybe not kind of using your money so frivolously on kind of not necessarily necessary things. You can spend that money on a big adventure you want to go to or a big vacation or a big trip. It's all about, like you said, it's all about kind of how you put it in a thought process. Like, okay, let me go line by line. Because, yeah, your life shouldn't be just fucking a 24/7 grind and you're just like, oh, God, just got to make money and just you never fucking enjoy it. You make money so you can spend that money to fucking enjoy things, right? So, yeah, I do agree.
But there's got to be a balance.
Right. Like if you're into cars, definitely lease the brand new car if you want. I don't look down upon it. I'm just saying from a personal standpoint. Like shit, dude, I play hockey and I buy a bunch of new hockey equipment. I ain't going fucking professional. Why am I doing that? Oh well, because that $300 stick is fucking pretty sick. So
exactly.
So I get it. I totally get it. You got to be able to enjoy your fucking life. And hopefully, when they open these rinks back up, I'll bring some GoPro camera shit just for fun, shits and giggles.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about you paying $300 for some stick, but
yeah, it's beneath you.
Right? I that's low hanging fruit, and I'm above that.
You're way above that.
I'm above that. Like Jimmy said, work for 60 years and then die. The American dream, right? Like, we're not here for that. So what I do is that I try to make sure that I make smart financial decisions, except for the one vice that I chose. So for me, alcohol did not interest me. Drugs did not interest me. Making babies and paying child support did not interest me. Doing drugs did not interest me. What is my vice? Well, for a while, my vice was spending too much money on sneakers. And as anybody who's ever seen my sneaker collection, you can tell that is a vice that I really, truly indulged. I really did. But then when I started to slow that down, it was like, well, I start to have an interest in controlling my own methods of transportation. And since I know I'm going to sit in traffic in New York City, well, I might as well be comfortable because I'm going to be here a while,
That's true. Yeah.
right? So, the first car that I got, I ordered about 10 days before I actually took the road test to get my driver's license.
No, that's some balls, bro. That's some fucking
Okay?
balls.
I gotta, so, um, that's just kind of like how I do things. I'm pretty aggressive for the things that I want. And so, my first lease was over $700 a month. And people would say, oh, your first car should be a piece of shit. Because what happens if something happens to the car, you crash it or whatever? It's like, if I crash it, I crash it. I go back to taking the subway. Whoop de fucking do. Right? But I'm not here to spend money on something that somebody else farted in already. Like, only my farts go in this car because it's mine. I want my car, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was definitely a hobby, but it was definitely a vice because I was spending money that should have been allocated elsewhere, and that's why I called it a vice, right? But I don't buy sneakers as often. I mean, I did cop the white and citrus ladies jump offs. I did that. And yes, traditionalists, you're right. Like, the hobbies that I have still require me to allocate funds that are where I can make the money work for me so I can make more money, right? So, one of the things that I did was like, okay, yeah, I'm spending a lot of money on my vehicle. I'm still spending about $720 a month on my lease, which is going to jump up significantly in my next lease, but we'll talk about that later. In fact, you guys let me know if you guys want me to do a live stream of when I go to actually take delivery of my my new Benz when I get it in October. If you guys are interested in that, then I'll live stream that. On the way to the dealership, inside the dealership, that kind of stuff.
So,
All right, so you guys let me know if you guys want to see that. But I know that I spend too much money on my car, but that's the only thing that I do that's stupid. The rest of it is I invested my money that I got from doing one show into this show. I mean, if you guys look, we're dedicated to getting the best equipment and the best lighting and the best everything so that we can bring the best content to you. We're gonna do this, traditionalists. We're gonna do this.
so
We're gonna do this, right? So I put my money into that because maybe if this community grows, you guys will show the appreciation, and then we get paid, right? With my personal training, I'm always buying new courses so that I can bring more value to my clients, so that I can then charge more. That's where I put my money. I put my money into making sure that my credit rating is super high, and we'll be talking about that different ways for some of you that are here in the United States and may not know how to build credit. We're going to take you through that as well. There's just so many things that we want to bring you. Well, that's what I have to spend my money on. But the rest of it is, well, I'm just going to sit it in this fucking account and watch it grow until I meet the right financial guru so I know where to invest my money. And then I can make my bad financial decisions with my thing for, Mercedes-Benz. Of course, I want to get a 911 Carrera or Targa S. That's one of the things I want in my future to lease. That's $2,000 a month to keep that car on the road. Right? So I want to make the money in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make the money. Well, that's why I'm investing a good amount of my money and betting on myself and betting on the Talking Shit podcast.
Well, shit. So, like, because there was a lot of subjects you kind of want to touch upon on this episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like you'd say, you modified, your financial situation so you could kind of get what you wanted in life.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about modification of something, you want to talk about this genetically modified salmon that's going to be heading to your dinner plate too?
You want to get into that now? Because I was actually going to get into let's talk a little bit about if I could find this here. I found it. Yeah, let's discuss it. We really wanted to talk about something that was a little bit more controversial today.
But we'll talk about
we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this real quick. And this is something that is super, super important to me. So you guys in the United States, first of all, you guys in Europe, I want to say that I really want I'm so jealous of you guys because the food administrations that you guys have in Europe, they care about your safety and well-being so much more than they do here in the United States. Here in the United States, they will approve all kinds of garbage in order to help corporations make more money. Okay? So, this was something that came out last week. Genetically modified salmon headed to U.S. dinner plates. The inaugural harvest of genetically modified salmon began this week after the coronavirus pandemic delayed the sale of the first such altered animal cleared for human consumption in the United States. Okay? So McFadful asked the question, is GMO safe? That's a good fucking question. If you go down and you look at how they modified salmon, okay? I want you to understand what they did to the fish. And you tell me if it actually makes sense what they're doing. Okay? Okay. Aqua Bounty has raised its faster growing salmon at an indoor aquaculture farm in Albany, Indiana. The fish are genetically modified to grow twice as fast as wild salmon, reaching market size, which is 8 to 12 pounds, in 18 months rather than 36. So a year and a half rather than 3 years. Okay? All right. Where is the other information? Because you got to understand that it is impossible to get everything for nothing.
Yep.
Okay? Because there is a piece of information in this article that I found that I thought was really interesting.
Are you talking about how they kept it contained, like they keep them contained?
Oh, no, not the containing, but the fact that they claim that they are able to get these fish to become bigger, faster, while also requiring less food.
Yeah, less food. Yep.
So let me ask you something, and I don't want you guys to just take it from my. I'm trying to find where it is. In the article.
Oh yeah, I do remember reading that though, because it's like they said like they were able to make them bigger faster, and then they also had to feed them less.
They could feed them less food.
They keep them essentially kind of in sterile tanks, like a sterile environment where they're.
Well, yeah, they also have. They also make sure that they are sterile female. There are no male fish, and they just take female eggs to because they're saying that, what if one leaps up and runs down the block because of, they're genetically modified, and they start running towards the ocean and then it messes with all of the fish supply in the ocean. But yeah, that's a real fucking problem. There's a reason why tilapia is not considered a healthy food to eat anymore, because it's been overly farmed to the point where not only are the nutrient levels in tilapia so it's negligible at this point, but the fish also get higher occurrences of cancer.
Yeah.
So if the fish that you're eating has cancer, what does that mean for you?
Not good. I think when it comes down to anything genetically modified, I don't really fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because
I look for GMO, and then so I can get away from it.
So, like, I think, and also you got to be careful when you shop at the store, because a lot of the shit you get at the grocery store is garbage, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say non-GMO, but if you actually look into it, it's very misleading with the way they subject and title their stuff on the packaging. But go ahead, you can read that out.
Yeah, Aqua Bounty markets the salmon as disease and antibiotic free, saying its product comes with a reduced carbon footprint and none of the risk of polluting marine ecosystems like traditional sea cage farming carries. Despite their rapid growth, the genetically modified salmon require less food than most farmed Atlantic salmon. Biofiltration units keep water in the Indiana facility's many 70,000-gallon tanks clean, making fish less likely to get sick or require antibiotics, right? So let me ask you this. In what world could I look at the sticker price on a Mercedes C300, which will be about $45,000, right? Mm-hmm. In what world would I be able to get an S-Class for $36,000, brand new? In what world? If your C-Class, if your C300 is $45,000, and the E-Class is better than the C, and the S-Class is better than the E, in what world will the C300 cost $45,000, but the S-Class only costs $36,000? Is that how market dynamics work?
No.
How can you get to grow bigger, stronger, faster, harder, whatever? How can you achieve this while putting in less energy? The first law of thermodynamics. Mm-hmm. Energy in, energy out. The calories you put in determine what kind of body you're going to have on the other side. Could you imagine if I was living, if I was, shout out to Mizaru. Mizaru, he asked me a whole bunch of questions when I told him that TSP was going to launch. Mizaru, we are here. The Talkin Sh podcast is here. And you were one of the people that I thought about. So definitely make sure that you use this link, this bit link, capital T, in Talkin, capital S, and then HT. Definitely give us a subscription over there on YouTube. Also, again, people coming over from the Dr. Evil Genius community, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch, all the same suffixes. TALK_SH_T.
So,
okay.
One of the biggest problems I have with eating anything genetically modified is they're not going to be completely transparent of how they do things. They'll tell you enough information where they feel like they are, but just logic, basic common sense. That makes no sense why they feed them less, right? And they're bigger in a shorter period of time. So they're obviously doing something when it comes down to raising these fucking fish that fucks with them, fucks with their genetics. And also, you're going to have a big effect on the fishing community that this is going to kind of hurt their industry as well, an industry that's already hurting in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, to me, as somebody that has like gone on a fishing boat before and like I'll catch my own fish and stuff like that, what I get from the sea, I'll eat that shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to eat something that I know comes from a natural source. Because
Right.
when you get into these tanks, and what these people are not going to want to have this conversation, eventually there's going to be some form of contamination or a fucking up of the levels in the tank where it spoils the fish and you don't know the repercussions of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been cases in the past when it comes to fish, I know that for a fact, where they've had like they farm fish in tanks and they'll fuck up, I think like the pH levels or something, they'll fuck up the levels in the tank, and then all the fish will go bad and they'll have some negative reactions when it comes to human beings consuming it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think anyone should fuck with this type of fish. I don't think you should consume it. I think if you're gonna have it, get it at the source. Uh, there's just so many different fish markets you can go to, even locally if you live by the coast or even more inland off the rivers, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, that you can get an actual fish from a boat, an actual from the know where it's coming from the source.
Right.
Um,
Gottfried says, yeah, it's bad, but even here in Europe, times changed. Now we use glyphosate as fertilizer, even though it's proven it can cause cancer.
well, think about it because people are going to want to make dollars and they don't give a fuck
They don't
about
give a
human beings.
fuck
They don't
about
give a
your
fuck.
future.
They don't. So you got to make sure exactly what you put in your body. Like I know when I had my diagnosis and stuff like that, it
Yeah,
kind of
for
like
those that don't know, tell them about tell them about
so like I had I essentially in my pancreas I had cancerous tumors in them. Ended up kind of getting essentially like I have about a little over half, yeah, about a little over half of my pancreas. So they took about a third, I think. So I've been through the process of kind of having that, and it destroys you. It kind of destroys your energy levels and all this stuff. Luckily enough, I have enough where I'm not diabetic, thank God. But it kind of makes you, it makes you kind of like, okay, like what am I exactly eating, right? Like what am I putting into my body? And I've been more conscientious of what I eat and try to be as best as possible. Again, is there days you slip? Yeah, but I try to be as best as possible because there's a lot of stuff in food packaging where they'll say, oh, it's non-GMO, but then if you actually look from the company and where they process it, it is a lot of it is genetically modified.
I do
Um,
want to touch on something that you said before
mhm.
about um the dangers of these foods.
Yep.
You can't even call them foods. They're fucking science experiments is what they are.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like fucking mice in a fucking lab.
But check this out. Several tons of salmon engineered by biotech company Aqua Bounty Technologies will now head to restaurants and away from home dining services. Why? Where labeling as genetically engineered is not required in the
Wow.
Midwest and along the East Coast.
Yo,
Their own CEO is telling you we are launching in places where we don't have to tell you what you're eating.
that's fucked up. That is that they should have to report it and it should have to be on the menu. That's a whole discussion we could have, but you know, as somebody that's going out to fucking pay for food, I don't want some genetically modified bullshit. I want actual fucking salmon. Is
Yeah,
that difficult? And the problem is, right? And if I'm gonna be passionate about this for a second, I apologize. But
absolutely. No, we both are.
but the fucking problem with this too is right, like the herring runs right in the Cape Cod Canal, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they destroyed the herring runs. They fucking cemented them up, blocked it up because they built a bridge over it. It fucked it up. They closed the old one, right? And they're wondering
Mm-hmm.
why the ecosystem's getting all fucked up with these fish and they're not
Yep.
populating like they used to. Because when you
Yep.
take away their fucking sources, what do you think is gonna happen? So like
Yep.
I get it, and I'm not one of these super fucking like like fucking blow up the whole planet for the fish. No, I'm not like that. But it's really not that difficult to fucking build riverways where these fish can populate and
Yeah.
repopulate. It's really not
And
that
not
difficult.
fuck with them and
Eh,
let
eh,
them go through their natural life cycles
Dude,
so that you can harvest them later.
I'm not gonna eat anything out of a fucking tank like that, bro. Because that's
Nope.
disgusting. And for me, now that like you like that article, maybe I skimmed by that. I didn't actually even see that. I didn't. I maybe
Yeah.
I just I didn't remember. But like,
Mhm.
bro, like I'm being very. I don't Like, I usually don't eat seafood when I go out. Just full disclaimer, I don't, because
I'm much less likely to now.
yeah, exactly. Like, if I'm gonna get seafood, I get it from the source and I cook it at home, right? My girl
check
actually
this part out.
makes a killer salmon, so it's just this pisses me off.
Exactly. Check this out. The international food service company Aramark in January announced its commitment to not sell such salmon, citing environmental concerns and potential impacts on indigenous communities that harvest the wild salmon. And you just talked about that.
Yep.
You just talked about that. You know, when you're doing this, you're squeezing these people out from the only way that they really make money.
Dude, you're squeezing them out and you're like making it so where they already don't make enough, right? Can we be frank here?
Yeah.
They already don't make enough and you're cutting that in half. It's like, you know what? As it is, a lot of people don't eat seafood. Obviously, there's enough where you justify the world market and it's at a relatively cheap price. But why don't we just go from the sources that we should and properly look at the cycles? I understand that like a few years ago, actually, I think it was with the herring that there was like a low population, but then they kind of like they lessened fishing of that population. It's like lobster up in Maine, right? You can only fish a certain amount of lobster. You can't have like more than a certain amount of pots because they don't want you destroying the communities. That's why they actually have, when it comes to lobster, like if it's an egger, if they see a lobster with eggs and stuff like that, you have to put it back because that's populating the next generation.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has to be a certain size. Like there is already a lot of regulation. But unfortunately, right, there's just bad eggs everywhere. Unfortunately, some people like, oh, like that's just stupid fucking black and white laws. It don't matter. Like, no, that fucking matters so our future generations can eat, right?
Yeah. But everybody only cares about the profits that they can turn today. And they're sacrificing everybody's future for their own enrichment in the present.
And it's baffling to me, right? Because they can't they can see a foot in front of them, but they can't say 10 feet, right? They're just so fucking hyper focused on that. I'm not trying to get uber passionate, but it's so asinine when I've seen this and it's destroyed.
Tell them how you really feel, son.
It's just
tell them why you mad.
Like this whole genetic bullshit. Because you know what this is? This is slippery slope. Let's say they start selling this shit. Everything's gonna be genetic. Oh, like genetically fucking swordfish or fucking. You know what I mean? It's just. It's so unhealthy at the end of the day that these genetically modified stuff has turned out to have cancers and various different diseases in them in the long run. And if you put this in your body willingly, it's very foolish. It's absolutely fucking foolish because you can get something off a boat and just be far healthier, right? Far healthier. I don't know. The problem is, right, with at least here in the United States, I don't know if you believe this, but the fucking FDA or fucking all these food fucking organizations, it's a joke.
It's a fucking joke.
They're a fucking joke.
It is.
Dude, it's an absolute joke what
they always put somebody in charge that is in charge of some who used to be the head of or the owner of some industry titan that's polluting the fucking planet. I mean, I feel like we're living in a Captain Planet episode. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, dude, it does, because like all the corporate, they make them like cartoonily evil. And
these guys are cartoonishly evil. Hey, I want to get to some of these chats because one day there's going to be enough of them where they're going to have to do super chats instead. Okay. Seditions asks a good question. Did you also reduce the amount of food, and specifically animal protein, or same amount but better quality? They claimed that they just use less food, but then they swapped the water out more often so that they wouldn't use antibiotics on the fish. So they were able to get the fish to grow twice as fast with less food. That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense unless they're putting some type of nutrients in the water. Go ahead. Sorry.
Which they didn't claim that they were doing, and even so, the nutrients that you expose any living being to is the body's ability to absorb it is going to be lessened when you just put it in chemical form than if you give them their actual normal food sources and then let them digest them the way that they were designed to. Okay, let's look at Maizuru. It's so hard to eat organic food nowadays because it's much more expensive. these GMO and processed foods become a no-brainer for the lower class. Now, he and I, as black men, we understand, especially when you come from places that are rife with food deserts, meaning certain areas in certain municipalities that are a certain distance away from fresh food.
Mm-hmm.
So your only option is the Chinese food store in the corner or the Kennedy Fried Chicken or some bullshit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you got these guys eating Chef Boyardee because and also they'll say to you, hey, we'll sell you this Big Mac for $1.50. When I was a kid, it was $5.
Yeah.
And they want to sell. You want me to think that you're giving me high quality food that you're charging $1 for when you used to charge $5 for it. And inflation don't go that way. Inflation goes the other way.
Just like the McDonald's chicken nuggets, you know what the fuck those are made out of? It's
yeah, that shit is made of some fucking pink ass goop shit.
It's
like fuck out of here.
Disgusting, bro.
This like fucking trash. And that's what so it makes it very difficult for people who are not in good economic conditions to be able to eat the food that will make them healthier, that will make their brains work better, so that they can go and do a better job and they can study harder to then raise their standing in the community. You see how it's like a nasty catch-22?
Yeah, no, and I understand where you're coming from, and this is not what I'm going to say is not an answer to every solution, but this is why I encourage people to try to go hunting. And obviously in New York City you can't do that, right? It's not like you're going to go out in the fucking middle of the street and catch a buck, but like honestly kind of capturing your own food is the best way to do it, because you can't really necessarily trust what a lot of these grocery stores, even the labeling of a lot of these packaging with the food, you can't necessarily trust.
Why is Jimmy Dean in my head? Will Jimmy Dean get the fuck out of my head? I was thinking exactly this. When you were talking about the lobster fisheries up in the Northeast, the first thing I thought of was the crawfish and all the seafood in the Gulf from the BP oil spill.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was the first thing I thought. And Jimmy Dean's in my goddamn head because I guess he lives in the Gulf. But do you want to talk about that a little bit, especially as a merchant mariner? What your opinion of what happened with the BP oil spill and how that affected the local ecosystem?
First off, the BP oil spill was all that rig's operations fault. They silenced alarm. I've read the NTSB report on that. I've done a report on it myself. I've looked into that heavily. They ignored alarms for over 24 fucking hours, indicating there was something wrong. But because everyone gets complacent with their job, we're not going to research it or go look into it or stop the production. We're just going to keep fucking going. It annoys me because I am one of these people that's responsible when they're in the water. I take it very seriously, right? When it comes to any type of oil, gas, any type of contamination. But you have these people that are
you are Captain Paul.
They're so cavalier and just so stupid, right? Just because you get a license does not mean you're intelligent by any fucking means. It just means you can pass a test. So my thing is, it was their fault in the first place that it built up to that point where they knew something was wrong with the pressuring the PSI within the system, having an alarm going off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have that and you don't, bro, and then the spill happens. And then they try to make it like this big fucking tragedy. It's like you idiots had the alarms going off the whole time, indicating that there was something pretty fucking wrong. So I've just heard people defend the oil riggers, and I'm like, yo, like, honestly, bro, like, you can't. Like, read the report. Fucking, I believe it was, I don't want to say specific positions because it's been a little bit, but, like, one mate transferred to another mate, didn't let him know what was going on, but then that mate still realized that there was an alarm that was acknowledged it was still going off. So, like, what you can do on a lot of these vessels is, like, instead of, like, for these alarms, you can just keep hitting acknowledge, and it silences the alarm. So it's not going off constantly. It's just silent in the background, but it's still on the screen on the fucking monitor. It's showing, pressure's building up here. There's something, you know what I mean? It will give you specific numbers depending on the monitor system they have. But as a whole, that BP oil spill fucked the whole fishing industry down there, and it fucked with the whole wildlife down there, where you're gonna see contamination till this day, right? Like, I've heard I've heard it's made a little bit of a bounce back when it comes to the fishing down there,
Mm.
but that was so much damage, man. Like that was such an absurd amount of damage that you gotta like, oh, appreciate it, Mazaru. You just gotta like probably wait a couple decades until it's like even somewhat, probably 75% to 90% back to normal. Um, that oil spill changed a lot of things. And you know what's bothering for me as someone that's in the industry, right? Like we had the Exxon Valdez thing in Alaska, right? Where vessel, the captain was drunk. He gets fucked up, accident happens, ton of oil spills up. It's like we have a ton of accidents even between the BP and the Exxon Valdez saying like, okay, like this is the proper protocol when we're doing things, right? And this is how you should do things, and you're trained in that manner, right? But people get just so complacent that they throw everything they've learned out the window, everything, and it's just like it's frustrating because it doesn't just affect those guys. Like, yeah, they lost their jobs and some lost their licensing, right? You just affected a whole bunch of people due to your ignorance, and it's troubling as human beings, right? We can't learn from history, right? Like we've had oil spills off Cape Cod, we have oil spills down in the Gulf of Mexico before, but like we keep still making the same fucking mistakes. It's like, come on, like how are
What is
you
the
that
definition of insanity?
repeating the same thing over and over again?
Expecting a different result.
Yeah, it's just, ugh, it's just
You know,
it's absolutely insane.
seditionalists. People start thinking about these kinds of options in the absence of people actually responding to reasonable requests. You see, Paul is saying is that these oil spills could have been avoided if not for human error, right?
Yep.
If you make it where people are not complacent, you don't have somebody drunk at the helm.
Yep.
It's when I was in IT, when I was still in information technology doing desktop support, one of the things that I was taught in school was 80% of the problems are going to occur between the desk and the chair. 80% of your problems
Yep.
is going to happen between and what are they saying? The end user is going to be the source of the problems a lot of the time. It's not necessarily the technology or the infrastructure, but the people who are in charge. You have that human error element to it. So especially when you're talking about the Exxon Valdez from the 1980s, and I think that was up like near Alaska, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
right?
it was right near Alaska. The captain, he was going on a traditional route that's very simple, very well lit. Well, not very well lit, but like with it's lit up buoys. You should know where the fuck you're going, right?
Probably.
And he was drunk. And that's actually the reason why, due to him being drunk, before they didn't have this law, when you go on watch or you go rotation, you have to have a 0.04 or below. No, you actually have to have below a 0.04 alcohol content level to go on shift. And actually, all companies have a 0.00. You can't have any type of alcohol because it's just such a risk. And like,
if I was selling sneakers at Foot Locker, they have the same thing, 0.00.
And I think the as for stop oil drilling, and this is the problem that people don't realize is like, where else are we going to get all this power from? What we use, what we're using right now, right? Like in New York, I know for like it's over 70% of your power in New York is by gas, oil and gas, and the other big percentages of some of your nuclear power plants that you have still in process. No, it's 60%. I apologize. And then it's like I think it's about 20% is nuclear. The only way you could, and I know in Rhode Island where I live, 90% of the power that we use is by LNG. So how are you going to replicate that? Because wind turbines are not enough, right? Solar panels
Not
are
now,
not enough.
anyway. Not yet.
As they're currently constructed, not now. And then there's also diesel generators within the wind turbines that people don't know about. Because I've been trained.
We're still
on
doing
these
the
things.
fossil fuels here. Yeah.
Yes. People want to think that these are the big perfect answers. Like, even if you make a seawall worth of them, right? You're still gonna have to. You're still gonna have to.
Hold on, I got to do a PSA for some of the people just coming in. For those that are just coming in, especially from the Dr. Evil Genius community, I went live for our 10th episode of TSP on basically both of my platforms and the actual Talkin Sh podcast platform. Okay, so what we're going to need from you guys, and of course we're trying to build a community here of men who want to be the best versions of themselves, and also to create an environment for the women who still love and respect men in society to be able to voice their opinions and their sentiments. But for the most part, this is about helping men understand that other men are here to support them. That in a non-pause way, that we love y'all and we respect y'all and we value y'all. And for us to create a network where we could all help each other level up in life. That is what the Talkin Sh podcast is built on. But we're also going to talk our shit because, that's what we do, right? So for you guys in the Dr. Evil Genius community, if you want to join the kind of like the ground floor of the Talkin Sh podcast community, please definitely head over to our YouTube channel. My main lady, who's fucking awesome, she created this simplified URL. The Bitly, you guys, I don't know if you guys ever used it, but go to www.bit.ly/capital T.
Yeah, use the capital.
ALKIN_SHT. That is the link that we're using right now to kind of funnel people towards our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So we would really, really, really appreciate you if you were able to type that link in, hit the subscribe button, and join us for our podcast, which we'll be doing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And you should also follow us on these social medias if you have accounts. Because, again, we need help building this community of men that respect and support men in society today. Because let's be frank, most of the media that's out there, especially the mainstream media, it's all pro-female and it's mostly anti-male.
Yep.
They want to try to feminize us men as much as they possibly can. They want to take our voice away. They want to make it basically where the only thing that we're good for is a penis and a wallet. And we're not going for that anymore. So we're going to create this community here, and we hope that you'll be a part of it. Please follow on the Narsagram. Definitely follow us on Twitter and Twitch. It's all the same. TALKIN_SH_T. Please show support for the platform if you care to. Also understand we do bonus coverage on most Saturdays. The Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party. Every time there's a UFC event, a fight night, or a pay-per-view, as long as they're not featuring overt racists or wife beaters on the card, because I refuse to give them any shine. When they put that one guy that beat that woman half to death when he was in the NFL, and then they signed him.
Hardy? Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, that guy. If he's on the card, I don't watch. The Kobe Covingtons in the world that wants to put out all this racist bullshit, I'm not going to reward the UFC for putting them on the card. So as long as those two people are not on the card, we are running the Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party every Saturday. Early prelims, main card. I will sit here for 7-8 hours with you guys, providing content, watch-along content, as a companion to the UFC fight nights and the pay-per-views. Okay, so that's what we do on Saturdays. We're going to be bringing a steady stream of content to you on a regular basis. We're here today, Tuesday, because we were not able to do yesterday's show. We will be back tomorrow with another show. We will be back Friday with another show. We're going to have more, kind of regular pre-recorded videos and things of that nature. We're going to be trying to really bring the content to you guys. Also, for you guys that have ideas, things that you guys want to hear us talk about on the channel, or you guys have an idea for a guest or somebody that that is well versed in stuff like health, wellness, finances, trade, investing, anything that you guys think that is useful to improving the male experience in modern society, definitely hit us up on our Gmail, TALKINSIS SHIT podcast LLC at gmail.com. Okay, I did fuck that up, but you can see it on the screen. Okay, TALKINSHIT spelled all the way out, podcast LLC at gmail.com. So anything that you guys want to throw at us and you want to see us discuss on the channel, because the content is for you, it's by us, but for you, definitely let us know if there's anything that you want to talk about. If you have personal issues or situations that you'd like to get some guidance through, hit us up right here at the Gmail. And if you want us to cover it on the show, we absolutely will. Okay.
So there's just to go quick, because I don't want to keep going on about it just fucking forever. But I'll just say this. Another thing that popped in my head with the wind turbines is, you know how all those rich, affluent people that, we're liberal, we believe in this. Right. In Block Island,
they're very fiscally conservative though. But that's a different discussion.
But their views are like, oh, we're green energy. No, you're not. Right. Then why did you vote down a bunch of wind turbines off? Because it said it would ruin
offshore wind turbines, right?
Would ruin the view. Not because of anything substantial, but ruin the view. So
did you hear about the homeless shelter that the people were trying to keep from being built here in New York City because they wanted to build a homeless shelter near what is known as Billionaires Row?
Yes, I did hear about that, because everything for them is optics, and that's all they give a fuck about. They just want to you people struggling. Can't stand it. It's just like it's ridiculous. And as for, like I said, I'm all for supplementing alternative and fossil fuels together, and then hopefully down the road finding a permanent
sort to phase it out.
It's a permanent solution. But the problem is a lot of people right now just want to go from fucking fossil fuels to
zero to 60, and it doesn't work that way.
We don't have enough of the grid, and honestly, a lot of our grid's old and ancient as it is. Like in Rhode Island, I know they have to completely upgrade the grid, which would be like millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even billions in certain cities, to completely upgrade the grid so they can. Because I know in Rhode Island we have a one-way system in a lot of cities. So if you get solar panels, for example, like certain cities, you can feed back your energy to the grid. Like if you accumulate enough, in Rhode Island, like in certain cities, I know in Warwick, it's a one-way system. So you'll get the energy, you'll use it for your house, but if you have any extra energy, and you have to put it back in the system, it's just lost. It's just lost.
Right. There's a good question from McFadful. There's a good question. Do any of you question why there are no batteries to store wind or solar power? I think it's a scale issue. I think.
Yeah, is that would be a massive scale. I think if they were going to do that,
you know how much land that you would have to devote to storing all those batteries, and then you get the some of the power does trickle out of the batteries after a while.
Yep. Yeah,
but that is a good question, I think.
No, that is a good. That's actually a direction they're probably going to have to go if they're going to want to completely go.
Yeah, everybody's got their fucking excuses, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, because these people
their ecological concerns are their financial ecology. You know, I don't want the property values to go down.
You know, it's the wildest argument I ever heard, because I went down to Gansett to to a meeting for the wind turbines, like they were having a town meeting about it. Someone tried to spin some false narrative bullshit, some like fucking insane, like I don't know, like Fox News type shit, like conspiracy theories saying that like the cables that they lay underneath the water cause cancer.
Mm.
And I'm like, bro, there's no scientific studies of that being a fucking thing ever. Ever. It's not like they still make the things out of lead. We've been using those for fucking, I don't even know how long they've been laying cables. There's been no justification for that. But like he shared, I guess he shared an article from like one of those conspiracy theory websites or whatever, and just the lengths what people will go if it slightly bothers them to kind of stop something that would probably be good or for the betterment of a whole society as a whole is ridiculous. And this is a guy coming. I work in the oil and gas industry, and I think you're not going to be able to go away from gas and oil. It's not just because of my bias, but just currently how the grid's set up. But I do think over time we can make improvements. As of right now,
20, 30 years.
Yeah.
If it just can't be 20 or 30 months, because you're trying to get elected,
That's
elected to office. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's
the only way right now, the only actual way we would get completely off fossil fuels if we went completely nuclear, and that comes with its own risks.
Yeah.
Even though they've kind of
a lot less risk, though. A lot less risk.
Yeah,
than
it's overstated.
Fossil.
They've made a lot of leaps when it comes to nuclear energy. With the fusion that they do now,
but everybody's worried about Chernobyl happening again. That's pretty much.
But to be fair,
or Fukushima.
To be fair, though, but to be fair, it's happened relatively recently. There's understandable reasons why people are terrified of nuclear, because when it goes wrong, it goes extremely wrong.
And they also link that to the weapons too, in their mind.
Yep.
Right. So their brain plays tricks on them. They think of nuclear weapons. Oh, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and things of that nature. So, yeah. So, it's good that, we were able to touch on this, because it really is important, people. As far as it depends upon you, try to avoid the GMOs for as long as you can.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be some point in the future where we cannot avoid it, but at least for like right now, and this is the answer that I was thinking about the batteries. It's just not very efficient, not right now, with current battery technology. Maybe with the solid state batteries that are coming up, they will be more useful for scale. But yeah, I think that for as many of us as possible, I think that being vigilant and making sure that what you're eating, or what you're expecting to be eating, is actually what you're eating. I think that is super important that you guys are vigilant on that end. Please, just don't just just take whatever they're trying to sell you. Try to avoid the GMOs as much as you can, much as you can. And there's going to be some day where you're not going to be able to avoid it, and then we'll just deal with life as it is then. But that's what I would think would be the right way to address this. There is another hard-hitting topic that we wanted to talk about that we actually had a little bit of an internal struggle here on the Talkin Sh podcast pre-production, talking about how we should cover something like this. Patrice Cullors, one of the co-founders of the organization. Oh yeah, first of all, thank you, Jimmy Dean. This needed to be said. All that fake meat stuff.
It's impossible.
Fuck off.
It's impossible to eat.
Yeah. Fuck out of here. All right, so we're going to touch on a pretty touchy subject, and I want to make something very, very clear. And I'm going to lead this one off because obviously in a podcast that is pretty much, me being black appearing, and him being ginger appearing, some people may have a problem with the fact that we are going to discuss a black issue, but we are going to discuss it because the whole world is discussing it. And I'm going to lead this off, partially to protect Captain Paul. Okay? I want you guys to be clear. There is a clear difference, a delineation, a line of demarcation between the Black Lives Matter movement and this Black Lives Matter organization or foundation or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Okay? Me personally, as somebody who ended up in media because of the murder of George Floyd, I ended up getting a job in media, hosting a show because of my stance on the murder of George Floyd and the response from the middle American. Let's just call it that. Okay. I have never given a fuck about any foundation. I don't donate money. I don't pay attention to any of these figures because I believe in the slogan. I don't give a fuck about any of these organizations. To me, the slogan is very, very clear and is very, very simple. It just says Black Lives Matter. It doesn't say only Black Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter above other lives. It just clearly states Black Lives Matter. And it's a very simple, humane statement. It's a humane phrase. Yes, Black lives are worthy of getting justice too when their lives are taken extrajudiciously for no good goddamn reason. That's why people have to say that Black Lives Matter. But then you'll have some people say, well, white lives matter. Well, white people don't have to worry about not getting justice when they're murdered. It's black people that have to worry about that. When we get pulled over, we have to worry if the officer is super nervous and he's already unsnapped the holster on his service weapon. Whereas if Captain Paul is making that same drive alone, we just had this conversation. Did we not have this fucking conversation on episode 9?
Yeah, we literally had the conversation where I went to the story about me and Darren and we didn't.
Right. And then me with this beautiful, luscious, big titty. Oh my God. I mean, she's had several kids. I'd still suck them titties, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So I just want to preface what we're about to talk about and let you know that there is a difference between the very simple statement that Black Lives Matter. And there's a difference between that and capital B, capital L, capital M, and they've got founders and co-founders and CFOs and CEOs and whatever the fuck this is. Mm-hmm. Okay? So when we start covering this, understand that we understand that there's a difference between the two. Is that reasonable, Captain?
That's absolutely reasonable.
Okay. So Patrisse Cullors is one of these, alternate lifestyle, womanist, activist type of person. She does not have a husband. She's got a spouse, but is not a husband. So let's make it very clear. We're setting the stage for the ideology and the expression of the ideology. Okay. And this is from May 28th. So this is last week. Patrisse Cullors said Friday will be her last day at the foundation, which she has led for nearly 6 years. The 37-year-old activist's finances came under scrutiny last month after it was reported she owned 4 homes. Black Lives Matter started as a hashtag in 2013 and has become a global movement. Remember in 2013, George Zimmerman got away with a murder that he committed on a young black man that he was stalking who was minding his own fucking business. And while he was on the phone with his ugly fat girlfriend, sorry, I just got to call it what it is, while he was eating candy and drinking in Arizona and minding his own fucking business, Somebody took it upon themselves to stalk him, accost him, and then when the young man went to defend himself, he pulls out a gun like a fucking coward and he shoots him to death. Because that's what's happened. That's what happened. That's just what happened to Trayvon Martin. And if you got a problem with that, we can have the discussion. But, you know, arguing facts doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense. Let's just put that out there, okay? But that's when the hashtag came out. Because when you let a man get away with the murder of a 17-year-old who was trying to defend himself by somebody following him when the police dispatcher very clearly told him not to. Sir, you are not a police officer. That is not your role. Wait until the police show up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what he was told to do. But if he didn't have that gun in his possession, I don't think that he would have been following Trayvon Martin. Let's just keep it a buck. Because he's not that tough. He's a fucking coward. Okay? So that's where the Black Lives Matter hashtag came from. And then a couple of years ago, you get the, it's supposed to be a movement. And then, of course, people are looking to get paid. And this is one that, when I used to work for a certain shipping company, they were partnered with a so-called not-for-profit charity organization called the United Way. And then you start getting the reports of how much of your money that you donate actually goes to the cause. And for the vast majority of these organizations, for every dollar you give, 2 or 3 cents actually goes to fighting the cause. Where are the other 97 and 98 cents going? In motherfuckers' pockets. So when people started reporting on Miss Colors, we've got a fucking problem. Do we have a problem, Paul? Do we have a fucking problem when we have black men being murdered in the streets and there are people who have a multi-million-dollar housing portfolio built off of it? Do you think that's a problem?
Well, yeah, because, fuck it, I'm just going to say it. She's profiting off these black lives. So, like, the exact fucking thing that she says she's against, right? She wants to support black lives and all this. You're essentially just profiting off the deaths of these children. And there's been some black mothers that have come out speaking against her, saying,
Tamir Rice's mother, first and foremost of them. Yes.
And saying that she's just using the deaths of their sons
for clout.
And this is the biggest problem. As we've stated, every fucking person should be able to live a life peacefully, right? Black lives do matter. They shouldn't be gunned down for stupid reasons because, you have a Zimmerman who's going fucking absolutely, who acted like a fucking idiot. I can't say what I want to say or I'll get banned. So, like, there's so much I can unpack there, and we probably will at a later show. But you have this woman that is profiting off the deaths of children and the deaths of young black men that I think is absolutely abhorrent and disgusting. She bought like over a $1 million home. She has
in what area? In what area of California? Did she buy it in the hood?
Nope.
To stand in solidarity? Is that where she bought it?
No.
What community did she go and move
Malibu.
to? And it's mostly filled with people with how much melanin in their skin? About that much?
About this much.
About that much.
But let's just keep it a buck, man. Let's keep it all the way fucking real. She's a so-called Marxist, right? Like she's that. Damn shit! There's a lot of capitalism going on. Let's just keep it real. There's a lot of capitalism going on with this shit. Like, oh shit! Like, oh fuck! What's this? Let me sell some shirts, some swag. Like, yeah. Oh, $1 million house. Oh fuck! Another custom ranch in Georgia. God damn, yo. I've never seen a Marxist that fucking wealthy, bro. What the fuck is this shit? No, I ain't spreading the wealth. Yo, that's the thing is, man. A lot of these people say, oh, yeah, I'm socialist, I'm Marxist, all this shit. And then as soon as they get a little bit of money, like, fuck you. This is my shit. I ain't giving you nothing. Like, it's just, I don't know,
For somebody that hates capitalism, you're sure capitalizing.
No, she's capitalizing on the death of these fucking men. It's disgusting. That's not laughable. I'm not laughing at this shit, bro. I'm laughing at how disgusting of a human being that she tries to put herself on a fucking pedestal.
Yes.
Above fucking people saying that this, like, fuck you, you stupid cunt. I think people like that are not worth a fucking time.
Yo, I like what McFadful said here. I must say to her, she is the only black life that matters. And this is why this is important to me. And this is something, because remember, she's not just getting roasted on Fox News, okay? It's not just the people on the right that want to try to take away from the message that black lives do in fact matter, and they are worthy of they are worthy of receiving justice, okay? Okay? Because they want to minimize that at all costs. But it's not just them. It's people on the left asking the same fucking questions. Yep. If you want to talk to me about racial equity and all of these things and how Black Lives Matter and all of these things, right? Why didn't you take that money and then help the other activists? Because the other activists were asking about this.
Yep.
We are struggling. Some of us have been evicted. Some of us are sleeping on couches because we've been evicted. Why are we struggling just to have a safe roof over our head, but you're over there buying shit in Malibu?
Well, bro,
the fuck? Like, where is that money supposed to go to?
Yo, she's terrified. She's just building bigger walls and shit probably too in Malibu. She's probably fencing herself in like, I ain't letting you people in my house. I earned this.
And you know what ends up happening? You know, and you know, it's real fucked up, right? But it's kind of fucked up. But she's going to a place where people are not going to recognize her, and they're going to call the police on her because they believe that she's now in a neighborhood she doesn't belong in. And what happens to black people in those situations on a regular basis?
Yep. It's just gonna be like 911. There's a person walking down the sidewalk, very menacingly. Just like, dude, it's absolutely insane to me. Someone that is Marxist, someone that is pro-black, like, all she cares about is herself.
I think this person walking down the street, their skin is really dark. I think they're really strong. You might want to send a couple of units out there.
I think they're holding a bag of Skittles. That's a deadly weapon. I gotta,
like, absolutely.
Especially if you're a diabetic, man.
Bro, just absolute ludicrous that she can even try. Like, if you saw her statement, the statements would piss me off. That's what set me off at the end when she said, like, oh, this is just a bunch of, like, conservatives and white voices trying to...
Nope, the activists are asking the same goddamn questions.
Discredit me. I'm like, bitch, how the fuck do you go from, like, how the fuck do you get a $1.4 million home making $120,000 a year? Yo, that's my tax bracket. I want to know, because fuck it, I want that type of living, bro.
The BLM Foundation told AP in February that it had raised $90 million, or in the UK, pounds, 63 million pounds, amid last year's racial justice protests following the murder of George Floyd. Let me tell y'all something. I swiped left on this one bitch. I'm going to call her a bitch because I was offended. This bitch swipes right on me on one of these dating apps. And in her bio, she was saying something that's like, you want to turn me on? Show me a receipt from you donating to Black Lives Matter. What?
Yeah.
What? What is wrong with you? Like, the kind of pandering that people are doing, and these people have no fucking clue. These people have no fucking clue what they're giving the money to. They're just trying to posture up. See, look, I'm righteous. I'm on the right side of history. I gave to some place that says Black Lives Matter on the front, so I'm doing my part. But look at what it ends up in. Okay? Last month, the New York Post reported that Ms. Cullors, a self-described Marxist, had bought a $1.4 million luxury home in Topanga Canyon. Let me tell you something, okay? I used to watch Boy Meets World. I wanted to get in Topanga Canyon so bad. Especially because she had the high-speed connection lips. Let me tell you. Let me fucking tell you. Okay? But she's in Topanga Canyon.
Yeah.
near Malibu
You're stupid,
and owned 3 other homes, including a custom ranch in Georgia.
bro.
Okay. Now, of course, you get these left. And the thing is, everybody knows that I am left leaning. Okay. I'm the guy on the left compared to, Captain Paul's, conservatism. So if you guys watch Black Power Magic Hour, I appear to be more right wing. So I lean left. Okay. But look at Facebook being Facebook, which is why I don't use Facebook anymore. Okay. Facebook banned users from sharing the story, citing privacy concerns. It's a matter of public record, sir.
I know.
Mr. Zuckerberg, it's a matter of public record, okay?
Yep.
And a black journalist said he was locked out of his Twitter account after he posted the article.
It's just, dude, it's just laughable. It's just laughable how bad this just looks. And for her to try to paint herself that she's a victim in all this when she's truly profiting off the real victims in this.
Yeah, Chrome Dome, man. Chrome Dome. Yeah. She had them DSLs, man.
Yeah.
She had the high speed. Yo, tell me, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. All right. Which one of y'all did not want to get in Topanga's Canyon? Let's be real about this. All right. Let's level.
Yeah,
right,
she still looks fine too. I'll be fair.
But we're gonna take a little bit of a lighthearted detour here, okay? Okay. We're not. Come on. Okay. Let me share this for you guys, okay? Because we're gonna make it a little bit more lighthearted for y'all. Just a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Just okay. Please tell me you have not looked at these lips and say, you know what? I can get a lot of work done with this kind of connection, son. Let's this is the way that all boys should meet the world. like dead ass. Let's be real, son. Well, you mad quiet right now, son. You mad quiet right now.
It's
Okay.
not wrong, yo. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love that show because of her. Holy shit, dude. Like that.
I mean, son.
Yeah.
Son. Let's talk about it, son. Look at them goddamn lips, son. Goddamn,
I'm just
man.
laughing because the fucking serious transition into this is just so funny.
I mean,
yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Question from Seditionalist. What does BLM Incorporated or Foundation or whatever the fuck, what do they actually do? Do they organize and pay for lectures or books or whatever? Or media, commercials, airtime, or having a workforce? Or does the donations all go to the C-level employees? Dude, for a woman like that, I'd get all the work done.
Fuck, man.
Yo, she is the type to make Captain Paul rethink monogamy, son. All right, so
You always have to go there. I love you, baby.
but great question, Seditionalist.
Well, they said they had like grants in that article that they give art grants, and I'm not saying that every single proceed went into her
pocket, obviously,
but obviously quite a bit did, because at $120,000 per year, right? That's what they said. That's what
over 6 years. That's still less than $1 million.
Exactly. So how are you going to afford a $1.4 billion home?
And if you really care, why would you take $100,000? Why would you, if you're a true activist? Why would you take anything more than the bare essentials needed for you to continue your work?
See, and you know what? To be fair, and I'll just defend it in this aspect, I'm completely fine if you want to take a 6-figure salary if you're going to be that's going to be your sole purpose in life, and that's all you're going to do. But obviously, she was using the profits made from Black Lives Matter organization and using it as her personal piggy bank, which should be looked into. And because if people
what kind of fucking bonuses would you get from activism? Like,
seriously,
it sounds gross to even talk about it in that frame.
The only bonuses she should get is like helping Black lives get better, right?
And Xenon, we talked about this too. Xenon, we talked about this on the show earlier. Let me see if I can find because I saw this a long time ago. So let me.
Like, I don't know, for 120 a year, right? That'd be fine, but obviously it's way more than that. She's profiting and stuff like that. And how you said like with t-shirts, how people buy t-shirts, they'll show a receipt like that you said that one girl had on a dating profile.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most laughable things, and I'll have to find the article, but because I don't know if it might have been satire, but if it's true, it's kind of funny. There was one article that I kind of read up on. This was a couple months ago, saying that like actual racists were selling Black Lives merch. Just to make a profit off of. Like, you have to know, in my opinion, if you're going to support a cause like that, you have to know exactly what you're putting your money into.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because people are going to take that cause and make a money and a profit off of it. It's like, I agree with you, Evil. I think that should be enough, right? Like, where you can there should be no bonuses, what she does with the whole bettering her people, but obviously, a Marxist turned into a capitalism real quick.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that shit.
Absolutely. So, for instance, the Salvation Army is considered to be one of the better, places to give your money to. 82 cents of every dollar donated to the Salvation Army goes towards program services. The average charity spends 75% of their budgets on programs, while the remaining money goes to cover overhead costs like fundraising. But there are what was that one that they always wanted you to put like your change in the box?
Fuck, I know who you're talking about. And it turned out the percentages was ridiculous. I hate this because I know exactly what you're talking about because
you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah. Shit, what was that? Hold on. I gotta look that up because that's gonna piss me off. What's funny though about Salvation Army though? People don't. Apparently, there is a little bit of bad history with the
UNICEF. Thank you.
UNICEF, yeah. What's the UNICEF percentage? It's like what, like nowhere near that, right?
What percentage of donations go to charity? UNICEF is known as. Okay. There's a pretty.
No, apparently on their UNICEF website they say 88 cents goes directly towards helping children.
That's what they say.
But then they were exposed.
All right, let me share this. Yeah. All right. So here's this is like from I don't know what this is from. Anyway, this is lovetoknow.com or charity.lovetoknow.com. What percentage of donations go to charities, right? Of the American Red Cross, the do-gooders at the American Red Cross do a good job of spending your money when you donate. They manage to keep administrative expenses at less than 5% of their total overhead, and they spend about 91 cents for every dollar donated on actual programs that benefit the community, whether it's teaching CPR, and I have learned CPR from the Red Cross, or managing a crisis during the aftermath of a disaster. The Red Cross puts your money to good use. World Vision. Approximately 85% of income donated to World Vision goes to help stamp out poverty around the world. While they are still well below the 33% benchmark, they tend to spend more on fundraising than other highly rated charities in this category. Nonetheless, if stamping out poverty is your passion, World Vision does a good job with your money. Doctors Without Borders, about 89% of total revenue goes to supporting their programs. St. Jude's Children's Hospital. What do they say? It's predominantly is known predominantly for their world with their widespread fundraising campaigns. They pair celebrities with children who have cancer to talk about the great work they do. The hospital is a research hospital that specializes in childhood cancers and other life-threatening diseases. No one is ever turned away for their inability to pay, and the hospital covers travel, housing, food, and treatments for the families whose children are patients there. Perhaps more remarkably, the hospital spends about 27% of its income on fundraising and administrative costs. Considering this is a hospital with significant expenses, the fact that St. Jude is able to spend less than 33.3% benchmark is impressive. Overall, they do quite well with your donated dollars. Okay? So let's see.
Essentially, it looks like it's breaking down like what costs more, what's a moderate level, like how much charities have to spend, like what's their overhead.
Right.
But yeah, there is some charities out there that have been exposed in the past that they don't nearly give what the percentage they used to give, or they say they give, I should say.
Yeah, the Autism Spectrum Disorder Foundation provides assistance to families with members on the autism spectrum. However, Charity Navigator notes nearly 85% of funds go to overhead. What the fuck do you think overhead is? What do you think that means?
Dollar bills.
That means that there are certain people who basically, when you donate, you're giving to the My Pocket Foundation.
Yep.
And here at the Talkin Sh podcast, we're going to let you know. When we put the Patreon together and the Cash App and all of that, 100% of the proceeds are going into our motherfucking pockets. Yeah, we're letting you know that. That's you supporting the platform. We've put thousands of dollars into this. We're basically paying to bring you content. So if you guys want to support the platform as time goes along, we will be offering you options to do so. But what we will not be doing is claiming that we're giving to some great, oh man, that's sloppy toppy. We're not going to be telling you that we're going to be giving our proceeds to this or that organization or what have you. It's going to go basically into making sure that we can continue to bring you content 4, 5, or 6 days a week.
Correct.
Pretty much. So, they talk about informed philanthropy, but there are several of let's see. This is interesting. They move around numbers to get better percentages in countries that pay attention to that, either donations or government tax systems, e.g. UNICEF, USA is about 85%, UNICEF Canada is about 55%.
That's wild. So they fucking literally go to other countries to duck that shit.
Oh, wow. He's about to go, Jimmy Dean is about to go on Yelp.
Bro.
And, yeah.
Shit, man.
Oh, well. You know what I'm saying? We lost a good one.
I just, this kind of goes to a clearer picture where I think the problem I've kind of had with the Black Lives Matter organization is that there's not as much transparency with the money as there should be, especially with a cause that is really rife. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just reading that. It's not necessarily the best. It gives you a breakdown of certain things where it kind of like shows you what's the best charity percentage wise, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think we can really, as a society, as that organization, should just do a lot better by our society and be a little bit more transparent, because there's no fucking way you can afford 4 homes, $120,000 per year. It just does not make any sense.
Yeah, Consumer Reports has a whole table.
Yeah.
And I guess, trying to help people not get fucked over. What I actually wanted to see from Consumer Reports are actual facts and figures.
Yeah, they don't really have that.
Yeah. So, they have top rated and they have low rated. And basically, it's based upon where the money actually goes. Charity Watch uses a letter grading system that also looks at the percentage of overhead spent on programs, the cost of fundraising, and other measures of efficiency. Charities that are A-rated generally spend at least 75% or more on their programs, so more of your money goes to the causes you want to support. For example, Charity Watch gave the Disabled Veterans National Foundation, which spent only 4% on its programs, an F.
Whoa.
While the National Military Family Association, which spent 82%, received an A.
4%?
Charity Navigator focuses on financial metrics, accountability, and transparency. So let's actually put that. Let's put that in Google. Charity Watch. Yeah, because I know that we're like,
we're free balling right now.
Yeah, not because again we're talking about the whole thing. Yeah, actually I have actually a person that is going to be working with us on this. Mm-hmm. Merch is coming. And we will be rocking it proudly in different colors to match my 94 pairs of sneakers. Okay. Yeah, so we have Charity Watch here. CharityWatch.org. They've got featured news. Fundraisers for F-rated charities hit with a combined $170.2 million in legal judgments.
Wow.
Yo, I cannot believe we're doing this on the show today, but we are about to make some really bad places very fucking famous, okay? So I'm just going to go through this with you guys because I actually, this is kind of giving me a chub. To out these organizations, okay? Imagine receiving a call from a charity fundraiser promising that your donation will be used to provide a pain medication to women suffering from cancer, fund hospice care for dying children, give financial support to fire victims, or provide food assistance to homeless and unemployed veterans. Now imagine finding out that in some cases a measly 10% or less of your donation was used for anything remotely charitable, and that the vast majority of the money you sent in response to these solicitations did nothing more than line the pockets of greedy, for-profit fundraisers. In separate actions in January 2021 and September 2020, the Federal Trade Commission, otherwise known as the FTC, joined forces with state charity regulators across the country to crack down on the predatory fundraising practices of for-profit companies soliciting donations on behalf of charities. The two actions, Federal Trade Commission et al. Versus Associated Community Services Inc. et al. And Federal Trade Commission et al. Versus Outreach Calling Inc. et al. Ultimately resulted in consent judgments against for-profit fundraisers amounting to $111.7 million and $58.5 million, respectively. Charity Watch has been investigating and assigning F ratings to most of the charities cited in the FTC actions for many years due to their high fundraising costs and low program spending. As an independent watchdog organization, we are often able to expose inefficient charities and predatory fundraising practices many years before regulators can take the necessary formal steps to pursue legal claims against bad actors and permanently shut them down. In this case, Charity Watch and state and federal regulators play complementary roles in protecting the public against those who use non-for-profit organizations as vehicles to exploit donors' empathy and generosity. The abusive practices described in the FTC actions serve as powerful reminders of why it's so important for donors to do their research before giving.
Yep.
Charities cited in the FTC actions: American Children's Cancer Foundation, Breast Cancer Charities of America, the Breast Cancer Society, Breast Cancer Survivors Foundation, Cancer Fund of America, Cancer Recovery Foundation International, also known as Women's Cancer Fund, Children's Cancer Fund of America, Children's Cancer Recovery Foundation, Children's Leukemia Research Association. And if you notice, all of this stuff, women and children, because nobody gives a fuck about male cancers. But they know that they can get your money. Won't somebody think of the poor women and children? Never mind the men that actually build society and make life easy for everybody to live. Like, never mind that.
These people have a special place in hell for fucking doing that. That's just fucking disgusting. Just
check this out. Other health, multi-cause, Autism Spectrum Disorder Foundation, which we covered also, right? Yeah. Crisis Relief Network. Kids Wish Network. The Organ Donation and Transplant Association of America. Okay? Police and Fire. Disabled Police and Sheriff's Foundation. Firefighters Charitable Foundation, Firefighter Support Services, Law Enforcement Education Program, Reserve Police Officers Association, Volunteer Firefighter Alliance, and of course for veterans, because people have a soft spot for veterans, right? These are charities that received F ratings before the FTC came to get them. So, Jimmy Dean is like, hey, be vigilant, check sources and stuff. This is from the FTC. These are actually the movements that the FTC are bringing in conjunction with 46 agencies from 38 states and the District of Columbia, because that's important. The District of Columbia, right? So this is a matter of public record, Jimmy Dean. I wouldn't just read off shit like this. But this is a watchdog to make sure that when you give your money to certain organizations, that the money is actually going where you think that the money is going to go. And in the case of the, Black Lives Matter Inc. Corporated or Foundation or whatever they're calling it, it's important to make sure that you understand that if you are going to attempt to give money to organizations that support black people and equity, racial equity, because these are things that we're not against. We're not against racial equity. I mean, maybe Captain Paul is, but I'm a black guy, so I'm for racial equity. Okay?
Really? You trying to make me look like an asshole? Oh, goddamn, bro! It's not my fault. You goddamn stupid cunts got like fucking running this shit. I'm Marxist, meanwhile, in capitalist land.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's like, in April, the foundation said that she had received $120,000 between 2013 and 2019. So they're saying the Black Lives Matter Foundation said in a statement, as a registered 501c3 not-for-profit organization, the foundation cannot and did not commit any organizational resources toward the purchase of personal property by any employee or volunteer. So, yeah. The grieving parents, and this is what's fucked up, right? Because she can make any claim that she wants that she didn't misuse any of the funds from the organization, right? Mm-hmm. The grieving parents of Michael Brown and Breonna Taylor, two African Americans whose deaths at the hands of white police officers were often cited by Black Lives Matter, the organization, last month reportedly complained the organization had done nothing to help them. Like, how fucked up is that? And the thing is, she can claim any claim that she wants to make. I didn't misappropriate the funds. Well, what else have you been doing to amass all this money? Because they're saying they gave you, and there's just different ways you could read this, that the organization gave her $120,000 between 2013 and 2019. Now, this could be $120,000 per year for each of those 7 years, or it could be a total of $120,000 over 6 or 7 years. Okay? Which are pretty, those are healthy figures to help people get by. Those are get by figures, right? But if you have, and we've seen that she's going around the country and she's talking and she's doing this and she's doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell. Can you tell me where you've earned several $1,000,000 over the past? Can you tell me where you've been earning $20,000 a month, $20 or $25,000 a month? Could you tell me where you work, where you make $20 or $25,000 a month to amass all of this wealth to spend on these lavish things other than Black Lives Matter? Because that's all we know you for.
Yep.
Right? You're part of the cancel culture brigade, right? You always want to find out when somebody says something offensive, how to find their employer so that they can lose their job, right? Well, how about you come out and you tell us who your employer is who's giving you all this money if you're not getting money from the foundation? Tell us about that.
She can't.
And the worst part about it is that she's making us look bad. Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Yo, that's a bar. Oh,
Yo, son.
yo, he's on to something.
Son.
He's on to something. Yo, you never know.
Son. Yo, Jimmy, how much do you think she charges per month to see her masculine bits?
God.
Anybody got a?
Dude, that's
Anybody got a?
just very fucking very precarious.
If you didn't get your
situation.
money from donations, then where the fuck did you get it?
And that's the question everyone wants answered.
He said that she charges about $350.
She's pretty so stupid.
All right, so we're gonna end off the show today.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a lot about what happened with the Joe Budden podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked extensively about that, and we want to share with you a funny video. As you guys know, Rory and Mal, who were integral, important parts of the show, they ended up basically being very disrespectfully removed from the show. So, obviously Rory and Mal are out of a job. And so they're on a job hunt. So let's follow Rory and Mal as they, look for a new job.
Can't believe I got fired after I quit.
Now you know how it feels.
So much for white privilege.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we need to get a job.
I don't know if we have to get jobs, but I think it'd be good to do something.
I mean, I hit my grandpa to see if there's any construction gigs, but he said they built all the bridges already.
No, that's funny because there's always traffic. Seems like they're always working on them.
Insurance job.
Nah.
And you still got that dude that does the PPP scams?
It's quiet for that. Everybody's getting locked up.
I got a plug at Johnson & Johnson. We could sell fake Vax cards.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
People still gotta go to Tulum.
That's true.
You got a resume?
I can make something up.
Like on paper, not in Harlem.
I can make something up.
Oh, shit.
Just stain my jeans. You got a detergent?
It's in the closet.
Yeah.
That's foul.
Yeah.
That's foul. Yo.
That's awesome.
Yo.
Seriously?
What?
The fuck are you wearing?
Clothes.
It's a job interview.
I know.
Yo.
I
Yo.
love this.
Rory and Mal.
Yes.
So I got Rory's resume here.
Sent
What
my
about you,
resume
Mal?
early.
Yeah, you got a.
Got you right
Is
here.
that handwritten?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Keep that.
Oh
All right, why
shit!
don't you both tell me
No.
your work experience.
Well, yeah, I was a general manager of Duce Palooza.
General manager what?
It's a traveling party. It was an event series that my friends and I got belligerently drunk for almost a decade.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm well traveled.
All right. What else?
I manage a group called Emotional Oranges.
This
Yeah.
yo.
They make
He
music.
said emotional oranges.
A sad group.
Well, sort of. I mean, yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
a group. That's the
Okay.
great part.
It's, you know what? I manage a grocery store.
This is real work experience.
Yeah, no, I swear. Yeah, it was great.
What about you, bro?
I bag groceries as a.
At Emotional Oranges,
Yeah.
he bagged groceries.
I was bagging groceries. I swept the barbershop floor,
I respect that.
things like that. Yeah.
Communication
He
skills.
said, "I
He was a
respect
lot.
that."
A lot of conversations in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was the HR department at the barbershop.
Barbershop.
Big, huge franchise.
What else?
I sold some things on the low. Oh,
This is not here.
just don't know about that.
Has e-commerce. He was working in e-commerce.
It's my field.
Yes. Transportation, vans.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has a lot of strength from there. I think.
Yeah, why don't you tell me some of your strengths and weaknesses? Why don't you both tell me that? Let me hear from you first on your loose leaf paper. There.
I can quickly identify when things are crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Anything that happens
It's
is
crazy.
crazy. It's true.
I
He
can
did
too.
that for years.
I have great communication skills with just women only, though. I don't like talking to guys.
In this climate right now, empowering women.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a strength, I guess.
Yeah. I'm a team
Oh my
player as long as
God.
I'm the only guy on the team.
What?
Like tennis or golf.
3 of us in here.
So you like individual sports?
Oh, okay. I can turn 5 into 10.
Maul. He was a math major,
Yeah.
and he's really good.
What about you, bro?
Well, I mean, I'm proficient in Microsoft Excel, specifically
Oh
with
my-
accounting. I don't really know your policy here, but are you comfortable with me looking into the books once we're hired to know what's
Oh
going on?
no.
Well, I thought I was one, and then I got fired because of it. But I mean, I'm really good. Excel. If you put numbers in an Excel spreadsheet, I'm your guy. Like, I know exactly what to do.
You dress like one?
Yo,
Yeah,
That's
I
so
figured I'd
foul.
just, I'd
Yeah.
become one now that I don't have a job.
Yeah. So, you guys know the job here?
I mean, we just saw an opening,
yeah,
and we
heard
don't
you
have a
guys were
job.
hiring, so-
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
At home, not doing nothing.
All right, well, this is some bullshit, fellas. But I'm into it. I see this.
you see the vision.
I see the vision.
I told you
Yeah.
you was gonna get the job.
Man, what are you
You
doing?
lighting up a
Are you
J in a
fucking
job
serious?
interview?
In the office.
Nah, you know what? You just got the job for that one, dude.
Should have known. How do you feel about a Mary hats?
yo, 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 you hear that? Fucking hear about myriads? Yo, that's great. That's
Oh
fucking
my god. Oh my fucking god, son.
dude. That was like such a great skit because it took everything they fucking were like, everything that happened and just fucking right back at it. That's such a to
A
turn
lot
such
of
a neg-
callbacks.
yeah, dude. Like it's such a negative situation and spin it into a positive like that is just that's a perfect way to start it off, man. Honestly. Like that was fucking so many fucking subtle shots and shit, like with the detergent.
Yeah, that was masterful. Absolutely masterful. But yeah, we wanted to bring you guys a fun show. For whatever reason, we always seem to hit some hard-hitting topics. We really do appreciate the engagement today. You guys are wonderful, wonderful viewers. Again, I just want to reiterate as we sign off. Again, if you could just hit the subscribe button, hit hit the notification bell, all notifications, so you know when we're going live or when a new TSP video will go live, will premiere. Definitely go on over to YouTube using this little link right here. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And also, these are the social media platforms that we have up right now. They're all Talkin _SH_T. Definitely hit us up. If you do the Narstagram thing, definitely hit us up. The Twitter, definitely hit us up because, we do, we put little updates on, what we're doing content-wise up on Twitter. Usually if there is some sort of rescheduling that we plan to do or something like that. Also, send in your emails. Anything that, you guys want us to cover, anything interesting that, maybe we hadn't, seen ourselves, or if, you'd like some insight on specific circumstances that, maybe you don't have that many intelligent people in your life that you can go to without being judged. Well, you can come to us, strangers who are relatively intelligent, that you might still run into the possibility of being judged. But that's neither here nor there. This is the Talkin Shit podcast. I really do appreciate every single one of you, the engagement, all that good stuff. And anything else from you, Captain Paul?
No, it was a great show. Had fun as always. Just make sure follow us on all the social media platforms, and if we could get up to 50 followers on Twitch as well, that'd be massive for us. But we'll be back tomorrow with another episode, and I look forward to talking some more shit.
Peace.